American dream, something we all strive for. And yes, that does include dreams of financial wealth, or at least being financially healthy enough to support yourself and future generations in your family. With that said, I do have Andrew Hanson, VP of Generations Wealth Management, to give us some insight on how to get started in regards to our finances. Thank you so much for joining us today.
Thank you for having me.
Of course. So let's start with the basics, right? We want a financial plan for the future. What are those first steps in laying out that comprehensive financial plan?
Well, I think first and foremost, you have to admit that that first step is always the hardest. It's such a vulnerable process, but if you can get past making that first initial step and saying, "Hey, I need to sit down and get serious about that," then you're in a good position to go going forward. First and foremost, though, before you get into any numbers, establish your goals. What are the things you want to achieve? What do you see your future life looking like? You always want to have those goals and mindset. If you're starting out initially as a first-time investor, I would look into certain, educational materials, whether you speak with a financial advisor, read articles online, get educated on it. But making that first step is always the hardest, and it comes with analyzing your income and your expenses. Once you get to that goal or that step, everything else will kind of work itself out. You just got to make sure you have the education and you make that first initial step. It's always the toughest.
Okay, very good. And as with anything else, right, times are changing, the economy is changing. So how can we ensure that our financial plan is flexible to stay with the times?
Well, you want to be as flexible as the market and as everything outside of the world. So it's important to diversify. You want to diversify a lot because, when it comes to ever-changing markets, they react differently. You want to make sure that you know how your market's going to react should something happen in the stock market or should something happen on a global level. You want to be aware of how your assets are structured and make sure that they fit your personality. If you're somebody that can afford to be aggressive, then be aware that you can afford to be aggressive. If you're somebody who hates to lose even a cent on a day, make sure and understand that you're on a conservative approach going forward. So make sure you understand how it works and that you're flexible and diversified.
Very, very good. Okay, so with that said, obviously we should leave these types of things to the professionals. Some of us are self-trained. We feel really keen to numbers and money management. But are there any resources out there for someone like myself who has no clue what I'm doing?
Realistically, you have online, you have the World Wide Web at your fingertips. You want to find somebody that you can trust. So you spoke to it, a financial advisor. There are financial advisors in your area that can do basically the same thing as everybody else. And education and transparency is key. I've seen way too many times where people come in and they just don't know how their stuff works because their advisor didn't explain it to them. So that would be first and foremost, is educate yourself and develop a trusting relationship with an advisor.
Very good. Well, all this free advice you're giving us certainly helps us trust you. And so if anybody is looking for your help, your support, your services, how do we get in touch with you all?
You can visit us at www.generationswealthmgt.com. There we have our blogs and you can reach out to us directly. Contact information is provided.
Wonderful. Well, thank you so much for your time today. We appreciate your insight and look forward to all the changes we'll be able to make here for folks in our own community.
Awesome. Thank you so much. You guys have a wonderful day.
Thank you.